Hello, Phoenix. Wait for this. How are you guys all doing tonight? I said, how are you guys doing tonight? Thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much for coming to session 2 of the Entrepreneur Speaker Series. I get the privilege of starting us off this evening, so thank you so much. So the story I'm going to start off with this evening is the precursor to the State 48 story. This is a story to remind you that no matter where you are right now in life, no matter where someone else is, there is still time. Helping someone can lead to unimaginable opportunities, and it can start right here tonight. The reason that we are all in this room is because 2 people saw someone close to them who needed help. That person got that help, and he didn't just get back on his feet, but he turned around and helped even more people. My name is Nicholas Palando. I'm the co-founder, creative director of State 48, along with my older brother, Stefan Palando, and as many of you may know, Michael Spangenberg. We started this company over 13 years ago. Now, Mike and I didn't actually know each other before we started this company. We only really knew of each other through Stefan. Stefan and Mike have known each other since the 1st grade, and I have known Stefan since my birth. My brother Stefan is a recovering alcoholic, and back in 2009, when he was drinking heavily, he was living with Mike. He worked for Mike at the hotel that Mike managed. Mike vouched for Stefan when he probably really didn't need to, honestly. But Stefan had a real problem. He was sleeping all over town. He would drink until he passed out, blacked out. Parties, slept behind dumpsters. He even fell asleep in the lobby of the hotel that he worked with, holding a bottle of beer in his hand, only to be found in the morning by an employee, or Mike. I'm not too sure. If I had to guess, Mike was probably pretty fed up with Stefan. You can imagine. Someone that's known him his whole life, watching him get blackout drunk night after night after night, jeopardizing not only their jobs, falling asleep in front of their house with cigarettes lit in his hand, things like that. In another part, in the same universe of Stefan's timeline, I was also pretty fed up. I felt like I hadn't seen my real brother in years. The person that kept showing up to family events was a zombie, a shell of a person who my brother used to be. Sweaty, puffy face. He was an alcoholic, you know? Mike and I, like I said, barely knowing each other at the time. We did what a lot of people, unfortunately, are unable to do sometimes, and we said something to him. We didn't get together to say this. We both had our own moments. From what I know, essentially, like I said, Stefan had fallen asleep outside of their house after he had been drinking with his cigarette lit. Mike the next day said, hey man, like it was super scary to see you that blacked out last night. Like, please put your cigarettes out. Now, these aren't always easy things to say, just simple things. Hey, please stop. I don't want you to hurt yourself. These actions are scaring me. Like, please get help. Me, it was a different situation. Our cousin was in town from Michigan. We had decided to all go to Mello and drink. Stefan showed up 2 hours late, already plastered. We had a fun night out. At the end of the night, he challenged me to a foot race. This is something that as brothers we did often. And for the last several years, I had been beating him pretty badly. So I told him, hey man, like I will race you, but you know, I don't want to see you mope and complain because we were really competitive. But I'll race you. You got to finish the race, but I'll race you. We raced. I won. He moped. I grabbed him by the shoulders. I looked at his eyes. He's 6'4", so I was looking up at him. I said, hey man, what are you doing? You're 25 years old. You're throwing a temper tantrum in a parking garage on Mill Avenue right now. Like, what are you actually doing? You know, I told him that I missed him. I told him I loved him, and I told him that I wanted my brother back. And what happened next, I can't take credit for. Mike can't take credit for. Stefan worked really hard, really, really hard. And within the next year, he got sober. He listened to the people around him who were losing hope. He actually listened. And eventually, he and Mike had an idea for a t-shirt company. Stefan asked me to do a logo. Mike and I and Stefan all became business partners. Later, Stefan would start impact days with the help of Janice, and eventually that would lead to the foundation and all of you people here this evening. It's not always substance abuse. It might be gambling. It might be a toxic relationship. It might be a mental health issue. If you see somebody that's in one of those positions, say something. If you are that person, let the people around you help. And if you're lucky enough that you don't have this situation happening to you or anybody in your life, be thankful. Take this story as motivation for you, the people around you, and your business to get over whatever hurdles you may face, because you never truly know what can come from just helping the people that are closest to you. Thank you. And without further ado, Michael Spangenberg.
Shout out DJ T3. What's up, all? Thank you, Nick. That was amazing and much better than my backstory of just saying, hey, we started with $1,500 in a spare bedroom. So thank you for going deeper, because at State 48, it's so much more than selling t-shirts and hats. It is really family, and all of you guys are family. But I did write this out because I know Marino will yell at me if I go too long, and I often struggle with the English language, so I want to make sure I get my words across because it's from the heart. So like Nick mentioned, I'm Mike Spangenberg, CEO and co-founder of State 48, chairman of the board of State 48 Foundation. I was born and raised in Chandler, C-Town, if anyone's in the room. It was rare growing up here, but as a young kid, I knew, just like all of you, like that I was put on this planet to do something special. And I don't mean that to be corny or say BS, but I really do mean that. For me, that meant creating a lifestyle brand in 2013 with the help of Nick and Stefan to rep our hometown in a positive and fashionable way. The 3 for $10 corny Walgreens shirts just weren't doing it for me. As you can see in this room tonight, State 48 has grown into much more than selling t-shirts and hats. That's why we started State 48 Foundation in 2020. Our mission is simple: bring our community together and help others win. Prevent the mistakes so many entrepreneurs like myself make when trying to figure it out alone. And ultimately, create jobs in Arizona so people like you can not only pursue your passion, but sustain it. Because we all know sustaining a business is freaking hard. From a dream, a spare bedroom, and $1,500 collectively in startup money, to over $25 million in lifetime sales, to a co-branded credit card with OneAZ Credit Union, a license plate that benefits State 48 Foundation, a co-branded lottery ticket, a young girl selecting us for her wish through Make-A-Wish Arizona. I'm gonna say that again. A young girl selecting us. She could select any wish in the world. She selected State 48 to make a custom t-shirt with us and donate proceeds. Like, freaking amazing. Retail stores, a nonprofit, again, to help others win. We've generated millions of dollars in co-branded tees with great people and organizations, just like so many of you in this room tonight. We do not take that lightly. And none of this happens without a team that truly loves people, makes customer service a priority, solves problems, adds value to the community, and always stays true to who we are. I love, amen. Something Doctor said last week during our keynote that really stuck with me was, we were all put on this planet with a superpower and a purpose. Always be yourself. We don't need another Joe. We don't need another Susie. Like, be yourself. Go all in on that because you owe it to yourself and to the world to live it out. So before I pass the mic, I want to share a few, maybe several takeaways, questions, pieces of advice from my own journey. These are just my experiences. There's no single right way to do business, and I certainly don't have all the answers, as you all know. Number one, never forget we are all in the people business, no matter what you're doing. Give to give. Expect nothing in return. I believe wholeheartedly in that. Entrepreneur or not, make it cool to go above and beyond for people. Next, ask yourself, what can I do to make someone feel so special that they actually tell a story about it? You know, so much about customer services, they're complaining about stuff that happen in a negative way, but if you could really go above and beyond for people, they're going to tell stories about it. That really what spreads the word and makes business cool, in my opinion. You can't grow without getting uncomfortable. I think we've all experienced that. You owe it to yourself and the people that you care about to have tough conversations. It's scary, but you got to do it. And always just come from a place of love. I think it's okay to have higher expectations than most. Surround yourself with people you can't wait to be around, who push you, who teach you, and who care enough to tell you what you don't want to hear. Because that hurts, but you need it. And that will make you that much stronger. Invest daily in your personal and professional development, whether that's coaching, therapy, exercise, diet, travel, school, training courses. I believe so much in that. I think all of us need to invest in ourselves. We invest into everything else, but we need to invest in ourselves. If you want it, go get it. Stop making excuses respectfully, because you deserve to go for it. Nothing worth it will be easy. Be vulnerable. Ask for help. Fellas, stop being stubborn. We all are. And then last thing I'll say in this topic is if you don't absolutely love what you're doing as an entrepreneur, do something else, because it's only going to get harder. So after nearly 13 years as an entrepreneur, I can tell you this. It's an incredible gift to create your own destiny, but it can also be lonely, exhausting, and sometimes make you consider quitting. You'll have to move out. You'll have to move on from people you care about. You'll sometimes be forced to put profits before people to protect the health of the business. You'll sacrifice a lot of your own time and miss moments with the people you love most. I don't, Marita's probably like, what the hell did I ask you to come up here for? But no, really, like, I don't say this to scare you or bring down the mood, but I'm just keeping it real from my experience. Because even with those challenges, I wouldn't trade this path for anything. Because I get to work alongside incredible humans, partners, past and present, because everyone mattered. And we truly get to make an impact in the state I love the most. And it's rooms like this, built together with an army of support, board members, volunteers, partners, everyone, that keep me inspired and get me through the tough times. I cannot wait to go to these events to fill my cup. And I truly feel like I'm living my purpose, and I'm grateful for both the good and the bad. So wrapping it up, I have nothing but love for all of you, and I really do hope that all of you win and are happy in life. Keep showing up. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the program, and I'm going to pass it on to the one and only Lisa. I almost said Matthews.
Wait, I need my song. I don't have this mic for nothing, y'all, okay? We are official here in session 2. There it is, yes, okay. You guys, okay, I had to dance. We always have to dance here. No, thank you so much, Mike and Nick, just sharing your hearts on the stage. It truly shows you the vision that turned into the impact here tonight. And so that's exactly why we're here. Session 1, raise your hand if you were in attendance. Love to see it. Welcome back. It was all about vision. And session 2 of the Entrepreneur Speaker Series, presented by Four Peaks Brewing, is all about business essentials. We have some great speakers here tonight to give you their insights, their tools, their mistakes, and all the things in between to help you really thrive in whatever your vision is to bring to life. And if you're not here in the room with us, hello, we miss you, but we see you plugging in on a line that is presented by Hard Copy Media. And we are live from the beautiful 11th floor of the One Arizona Center in downtown Phoenix. Look at the views. Quite beautiful, right? We're going to watch sunset here as we have some great deep talks all about business. And of course, special thank you to our sponsors who make this event possible. Shout out to OneAZ Credit Union, the official local financial partner of the State 48 Foundation. We are just so grateful for your support. Nights like this would not happen without you. And I hope you guys did some shopping. Raise your hand if you got some goods. Yes, ate a little bit something. If I'm shaking, I'm not nervous. I literally only had 2 meatballs today, and it was tonight. Delicious. So make sure that you grab it after the session, make your way. Shout out to all the local businesses who are out here representing and hustling, putting their name out there. So make sure that you support them, because that is what tonight is all about. And finally, a huge shout out to the rest of our partners who teamed up with us to uplift Arizona's entrepreneurial community. Annual sponsors, we have, shout out if you're a part of them, Arizona Lottery in the house, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, and Dropkick Media. Our Dreammaker sponsor is SRP. Our Catalyst sponsor is OGs. Business empowerment sponsors US Bank and Thai Chili to Go. Okay, we hear you in the back. And shout out to our event sponsors, Epic Party Team and Active Sound Entertainment. We are so thankful and grateful that you are in our corner to make this happen. And tonight's session, like I said, is called Business Essentials. So we have some incredible speakers here tonight ready to talk about navigating all of the important topics of both legal and finance and business, okay? So it's like, we're gonna make it fun and sexy though, okay? It's gonna be a great conversation. I know sometimes you're like, oh, legalities of business and the finances, but it's super, super important as you launch your business here tonight. Okay, but before we get started, I wanna introduce and bring up to the stage Micah Hedrick. He is the founder of Business Genie and a proud 2024 State 48 Foundation grant recipient to share the impact that this money has made for his dream and his business. So Micah, please take the stage. Yeah. Oh, we'll hug it out, of course. Hug it out.
How'd you know? I am Micah Hedrick, the co-founder and the developer behind Business Genie. Wow, do I want to stand over here? I'm from Phoenix, born and raised. Phoenix, I was born in here in downtown. Anybody here from Phoenix? Anybody natives? Yes, we're not alone. We're still alive. So far. I am CEO of Business Genie. Business Genie is a platform for the home service industry. Who here knows somebody that's a plumber, electrician, or painter, or pest control? Like any of those industries, I made this software here, homegrown in Phoenix, that runs that business extremely well. And not just because I made it, because the people keep telling me how good it is. And you know you have some good product when your clients are referring you all the time and saying how great it is. So it's been, for me, amazing journey for me. But last year, I was sitting here with one of you guys. I was in a chair probably over here, and I was like, I'm talking to anybody because I don't network that. That's not what I do. But I was here every session because I wanted to grow up. My business was nothing last year. Me and my partner's business was like 30 customers last year. And I was like, I'm gonna come here every single week to learn of how do I grow this, how do I do it better. And I came here every week, and I applied for the grant, and then I won the grant, and I was like, I didn't know they gave grants to people like me, so it was really, really cool. And if I can get a grant, trust me, you guys can get a grant too. So, for one, believe in yourself. If you're already here, you already believe in yourself. That's a big thing. You have to believe in yourself or someone else to believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, you're in the room, believe in yourself, it's a really, really big deal. And I have a booth here today, actually. So I came from here in the room to being sitting here with you guys to now have a booth here at the same event I was here last year, and them supporting me. It's a really, really big deal. So it's not about just the money winning a grant. When they come, State 48 Foundation comes behind you and they support you, that means they're posting about you. You're getting people that trust them, that then trust you. Like the environment of people that come around you is just incredible. So I've grown from 30 last year to now over 100 this year. Very bad. I'm not rich yet, just so you guys know. I'm still, I'm still one of you guys. I'm still building. I'm still learning. But it's a good start. I don't have to get a job anymore. So the help behind this, the foundation is, humongous. So keep coming back, learn something new, and once you get in here, write it down, remember it, and apply. And if you think you're not going to win it, you might win. I won. And I think, is that 3 minutes? 3 minutes, is that it?
Killed it.
I'm good, perfect. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Micah. I love how he said, I'm not rich yet, okay? Yet. Those pants, though, look good. All right, I love what he had to say just because true testimony of what this can do for you, your dream, and your business. Who wants to be on stage next year talking about the money that they did win from earn from the State 48 Foundation? And so let's talk about that money. And I'm sure y'all are wondering how you get a slice of that $50,000 in grants that we are giving out this year. But there are some terms, so listen up, okay? You gotta play the game right. Number one, you have to attend at least 3 out of the 4 speaker series sessions. I say all 4, okay? But at least 3 out of the 4, they're being nice, virtually or in person. So if you can't make next week, plug in virtually. Complete at least 1 post-session survey, and that will be sent out to you after each session. And then you also have to complete an application, and they will be available on August 29th, and you have until September 19th to get it in, okay? We have a booth in the back. They'll be able to answer all the questions for you. And also you can go to our website. But we also have revamped the qualifications for you to be able to get a piece of that $50,000 in grants. So number one, you have to be a for-profit business based right here in Arizona, a business that have been generating revenue for at least 6 months, and you are generating less than $1 million in annual revenue. So I'm sure you have lots of questions. We will be sticking around. We have a booth in the back, so make sure that you ask anything that's on your mind, your heart, so we can get you all set up and make sure that you are good to go to earn a piece of this money. So a few housekeeping rules before we get started and I introduce our keynote speaker. If you do have to get up to use the restroom, grab a drink, shop a little bit, whatnot, I encourage you not to. You don't want to miss the discussion and the keynote speaker up here tonight. But if you have to get up, please exit through the exterior so that you don't get in the way of our virtual session as well for the people viewing at home. And we do have a full house, and I know we like to talk a little bit, but not right now. This is the church moment. Like, please be a little quiet while they're discussing everything. And of course, we're going to have opportunity for you to meet the panelists, mingle, network after the program. So stay tuned for that and listen up. But before I get started and introduce our keynote speaker for the night, I have quite the intro for this guy. You want to stay tuned and listen up. His name is Andre Whittington. He is Executive Director of Growth Partners Arizona. He is a visionary executive, U.S. Army veteran, and award-winning strategist driving inclusive economic growth across the state of Arizona. As Executive Director of Growth Partners Arizona and co-chair of the Arizona CDFI Network, Andre has led the development of statewide financial education platforms, pioneered equity-centered lending models, and expanded access to opportunity through bold system-level innovations. And we are so excited to have him here tonight with all of us. Please give him a warm State 48 Foundation welcome to Andre Whittingham. Whittington. Oh, he came ready. Okay, love it, the vibe already. The mic is yours. This stage is yours.
Oh, man. I'm going to steal one of these waters. It's hot as heck out here. You made me sound so important. I hate hearing my bio. But I thought you all would be a lot more excited when she said $50,000. I didn't hear a lot of, ooh, yeah. I guess everybody's here rich already. So I have the opportunity to talk to you all about probably one of the boringest topics of being an entrepreneur, finance. And so how many entrepreneurs do we have in the room? Show of hands. Oh, yes, see? That's what I'm talking about. How many of y'all have a love-hate relationship with money? You love to make it, hate talking about it. That was me, right? When I was an entrepreneur, I loved making money. I hated talking about it, hated looking at financials. How I was raised as a kid, it was always taught about the grind, right? Outwork everybody, be the best, wake up early. So all of the things that it takes to make money, I was taught that. But we never talked about investments, the importance of credit, right? Wealth building strategies and tactics, all of the things that help you keep the money. And so, like I said, I was really good at making money. And so the first point that I'll share with you all today that I want you all to take away is that your relationship with money will determine your financial behavior, right? And so early on, my relationship with money was, I gotta get it, I gotta make it, right? I gotta get to the dollars. I wanted to leave the impoverished background that I grew up in, right? I'm from New Orleans, the Lower Ninth Ward. Grew up pretty modest, right? And so my relationship with money at the time was, I need to get it in order to escape poverty. And so I did what anybody else would do, right? I got a corporate job, well, not a corporate job, I got a call center job. Climbed the corporate ladder, was making 6 figures, had stock options. I was a bad you-know-what. Yeah. But then I began to realize that I'm actually working and I'm, bartering my mental health, my freedom, my flexibility for a paycheck. And so it was at that moment that I said, I gotta change this. This isn't what I wanna do anymore. And so my relationship with money shifted, right? And so what I wanted was more flexibility and just to do things on my own. And so I've always been a risk taker. And so it was at the heart in the middle of COVID. Crazy, I know. I left that corporate job, that comfort of that 6-figure salary, and I had about $250,000 in uninvested stock that I just walked away from. My mom cussed me out a couple of times. A lot of my family members told me I was crazy, but I started my own consulting business. Again, I'm a risk taker. And so as I was doing my consulting company, I had a lot of freedom, but I was broke as hell, right? And so after about maybe 8 or 9 months of doing that business, I finally got to a place where I was able to replace my corporate salary. So I was feeling really good about myself. And so even the company that I used to work for became a client. And so I was like, okay, I'm doing this thing, right? This money, this idea of this flexibility in finances, it's the way to go. And so in that time, I had gotten into a relationship, big man, big money, we going on dates, we doing all of these amazing things. I started doing my taxes. And I noticed that it was a great year, but I spent about $20,000 doing BS, dates, random trips, buying stupid, you-know-what. And I said to myself, something has to change, because I got all the freedom that I want, a lot of flexibility, but I'm almost on a one-way ticket back to the struggle. And so at that point, my relationship with money changed again. And so then I began to realize that money is actually a loyal companion, a trusted friend. If you treat it right, it's gonna stay around. If you don't, it's gonna be like grabbing the wind. That money is gonna be gone as quick as you could do that. And so what I realized was if I don't change my behavior, I'm going to be living in my own version of the Groundhog Day, right? Or every single day and every single year, financially, I'm going to be tapped. I'm not going to have anything. And so my mouth is dry, so let me get some water real quick. How much time I got? I'm just joking. There we go. So hard to open up these bottles. All right, there we go. Better. So at that moment, I said, okay, I have to change my behavior, my relationship with money, and my understanding of money. And so I said, in order for me to do this, I have to educate myself. I have to learn more about business finance, and I have to do things that's going to push me beyond the comfort of just doing the things that I love. And so I started working with other organizations, learning more about finance, learning more about my relationship with money. And as I began to see money as a trusted friend, a loyal partner, I said, okay, now it's time for another change in my career. As I said before, I hated money, hated talking about finances. So what did Andre do? He took a job leading a financial institution. Crazy as hell, I know. But when I took that role, I began to realize that now that my behavior and my mindset and how I see money has shifted, I now understand the language of money. And so this is where we'll get into talking about capital readiness, access to capital. So the language of money is pretty simple. Money goes where money grows. Say that with me. Money goes where money grows. One more time. Money goes where money grows. That's the language of money. And so once I begin to understand that, and understand that small businesses are always told to be capital ready and capital readiness, but there's not a lot of products in the market for you. And you run into a lot of barriers when you're trying to do that, right? And the big reason is that you're not speaking the language of money, and no one is telling you how to speak the language of money when you're talking to a lender. And so that's why I took this job, because I said, I want to be at the table. I no longer want to be on the other side. I want to be the person that's actually making and driving the decisions and helping others understand how to speak the language of money. And so when we think about access to capital really boils down to the how, the why, the what, and the who. The how much money do you need? I kid you not, there are so many small business owners that will come and apply for a loan or apply for funding, and they do not know how much money they actually need, right? They'll always say they need the max amount, and that's really not what you need. But there are some lenders that will give that to you, and it will strain your business, and you may end up closing. And so understanding the how much money you need, why do you need these dollars? That's really the use of funds, right? How are you going to use the money? And then from there, it is the what. So what are your plans to pay me back once I provide you with this capital? And that's going to be your projections, your cash flow, making sure that you can afford the funding that you're looking to get. And in the event that Andre decides to run off on me, the other what is what happens when you default. And so that's going to be collateral, right? And so there are some loans that don't require that, but there are some that do. And then the last piece is the who. So who's going to vouch for the credibility of your business? And that is your credit reports, your bankers, you have a relationship with your bankers. There's also going to be like your financial statements, your previous history, your tax returns. Tax returns. I could tell you there are so many small businesses that are getting in a jam because of their taxes, right? And I get it. You don't want to pay Uncle Sam. I hate Uncle Sam too. I don't even think he's my uncle for real. But you get into this, you back yourself into a corner when year over year, you're either stable or you're operating at a loss. And what's the language of money again? Money goes where money grows. Woo! Yes. So if your business is operating at a loss, is it speaking the language of money? No. So will you think that an investor will want to invest in you? No, because you're not speaking their language. And so that's where a lot of small businesses, they'll run into those challenges where you're operating at a loss or you're not filing your taxes, and so that impacts you a lot. And so my recommendation to any small business owner is to run your business like you want to sell it, right? You're not just a business owner, you're a CEO. Think like one. It doesn't matter if it's just you or you have a team of 50. Run your business as if you have a team of 100. When I had my consulting company, it was just me. How the hell did I get a client like Binance and Comcast? I have no clue. But they thought I had a big team, and I didn't. And so I always wanted to run my business as if it was big. And so as you're thinking about your financials and growing your business, again, knowing your business finance is going to be the most important and the most critical thing that you could do for your business. And so how many of you all have ever created like a vision board? Yeah, a lot of you all, right? How many of you all have done projections? Okay. And so your projections is almost like your business vision board, right? You're putting these numbers on paper. You're saying that this is what you want to do and accomplish. You're building out that pathway for what's next for your business. And it's actually providing you with a roadmap of what you want to build out and where you want to go. And so when you're coming to talk to someone like me, hey, Andre, I'm thinking about getting some funding, and I think I'm going to need a loan. If you've done your homework, your projections, looked at your year-over-year performance, you understand exactly where you're going to need to implement those dollars. You know how much you need, you know what you're going to use it for, you know how you're going to repay that, and you'll have everything that you need to kind of support and, you know, share that for you, right? That who. That's who's going to come in and back you up. And so that's really the language of money. Making sure that your business is showing that it's growing year over year. If you're not, you're going to have a hard time getting capital. And I'll tell you a pretty cool story from a few of the small business owners. So I'll give you a awesome win, and then like a big what the you know what. Man, my mouth ain't never been this dry. So I'll give you the what first. So I remember talking to a small business owner. Ooh, yes. And they were struggling with their cash flow. And when I had a chance to look under the hood, I noticed that they were paying about $15,000 a week on a loan, a predatory loan. Yeah, same thing I said. But it was because they really didn't do their homework. They found themselves back up into a crunch. It's not their fault, right? They didn't know. They just needed capital. And so they went out and they got the loan because that was the one that they could get, but it almost crushed their business. And so we were able to refinance that. Now, I was impressed as hell that they could pay the $15,000 a week. That's huge. But imagine what it's doing to their cash flow and how it's impacting their business. So it was able to restructure their business. They still haven't gotten back to a place, a healthy place financially, because of that bad decision. Give you another example. Down in southern Arizona, it was a young lady. She was making candles out of her garage during COVID. And she needed some capital, and she came to talk to our team. She was going to get a predatory loan, but she didn't. She wanted to get some funding. She needed like about $50,000. She wasn't ready for that, so we provided $15,000. She grew her business. She came back. She needed $30,000. And she wanted to move from her garage to her first brick and mortar. We invested $30,000. She came back. She needed $50,000 this time. No questions asked. Here you go. She got it. She's in a bigger location. She's helping other small businesses. Her mom, her dad, and her little sister came and got funding, and they all have their own business, and they're all growing. And it was because she had the wherewithal to say, I'm not going to take this predatory loan. I'm going to work with someone who's going to work with me to help me build and grow my business at a pace that's healthy and that's comfortable for me. And so she's thriving now. I don't think she'll ever come back to us for a loan. She's probably ready to go to the banks, which is a good thing. And so as you all are thinking about growing your business and scaling, I want you to keep that in mind, right? Have the relationships, work with your bankers, get out in the community, come to events like this and have conversations. And so the last thing that I'll share, I said 10 minutes, so I could just cut it off, you know? Should give my 5-minute cue. I asked for 10, because I didn't want to be up here talking long. The last thing I'll share is this. All my life, I've always taken risk. You know, I had a full ride to Brown University to get a PhD in public health. What the hell? I walked away. I didn't want to do that. I went to the call center. Took a call center job, climbed the corporate ladder. You heard that story. I walked away from that. Started my own consulting business. I was killing it. I didn't want to do that. I walked away from it. Then I took over a very small CDFI. No one really knew about it. And now we're one of the fastest growing and emerging CDFIs in Arizona. I took risk. Every single day you all wake up, you take risk as entrepreneurs. It's for you, your family, right? You want to show your kids that they don't have to struggle for the rest of their lives. Whatever the reason is, you take that risk. One of the biggest risks that you can take as an entrepreneur is learning your finances. Understanding what does it mean to have a financially healthy and financially viable business. It's going to take time. It takes effort. Like I said, I hated finance, but I can run circles around people right now if I look at your P&L, your profit and loss, or your cash flow, whatever it is. And it's because I took the time to just learn about it. And so take the risk or lose the chance is that last nugget that I want to leave with you. And I hope that when I die, Someone puts it on my tombstone, a little altered version, and it just says, here lies someone who took the risk and won. And so I want all of you all to continue to take risks, understand what is your relationship with your finances, because it's always going to determine your financial behavior.